Hi there, welcome to the newer section of Power Query in Power BI Desktop. In this section, we are going to discuss data type, detect data type, rename, replace values, fill, pivot column, unpivot columns, move, convert to list options to transform any column in Power Query. In Transform tab of Power Query, here in any column section, we will get all these options that we are going to discuss in this video. Let's start with data type. Data type shows the data type of a selected column or a cell, and it also helps us to change the data type of a column. Let's select any cell from customer name column. And here in data type, we can see it's a text column. And in the column header, we can see over here it's written ABC, which represents the text data type. Similarly, let's select any cell from order date column. And here you can see the data type is date. Let's select row ID column. And here you can see it's a whole number. Suppose I want to change the data type of this row ID column from whole number to text data type. For that, we have to click on this small icon over here. A drop-down list will appear. From here, we can select the data type that we want to apply. Here, I am going to select text data type. Here, we will get two options, replace current and add new step. Replace current will replace existing step, that is change type, in applied steps. And add new step will add a new step in applied steps. Here I want to add a new step. So let's select add new step. Here we can see that a new step is added to the applied step, that is change type 1. And the row ID column is converted to text data type, which you can see over here. It's represented by ABC, which means it's a text data type. And here also you can see that it's a text data type. We can also get this data type option here in Home tab, then Transform and Data Type over here. And when we right click on any column header, here in Change Type, we can change the data type, and we can also get the data type of the selected column. Now let's discuss about this detect data type option. Let's delete this sheet and import a new sheet. Right click, then delete, then delete. Let's import a new sheet. Go to new source, then Excel workbook, then select the file, then select the sheet, then click OK. Here in each and every column header of our data, we can see the data type of a particular column. For example, row ID column is whole number data type, order date is date data type, customer ID, customer name, state are text data type, postal code is a number data type, category is text data type, and cells is decimal data type. We have not determined the data type of our columns. Power Query has done this for us. And this detect data type option or feature of Power Query is responsible for this. It inspects each and every column of our data and determines the data type and changes the correct data type automatically. And this change of data type is recorded over here in change type step in applied step. Let's delete this step, change type, and see. Here in each and every column header, you can see now the data type is text data type, which is not correct. To determine the correct data type, select all the columns, then select this detect data type option. Now we can see that each column has correct data type, and one step is added in applied step, change type. By default, this detect data type feature is enabled in Power Query. To disable and enable this feature, go to File, then Options and Settings, then Options, then Data Load, And here we get that option. Detect column types and headers for unstructured sources according to each file setting. Now let's discuss about this rename option. Rename is used to change the name of a column. Suppose I want to change the name of this order date column. For that, we have to select that column, then select this rename option. Now the column name is in editable mode. Now let's make it as date and click outside of it, and it's done. We can also double click on any column header to rename a column and just click outside of it, and it's done. We can also right click on column header to get this rename option. Now let's discuss about this replace values option. Here we get two options, replace values and replace errors. Replace values option replace existing values of a selected column or columns with the new values, whereas replace existing errors of a specified column or columns with specified new value. Suppose I want to remove this CA from order ID column. For that, select the column, then go to this transform, then replace values, then select replace values. A dialog box will appear. Replace values. Replace one value with another in selected column. Value to find. We want to find CA and replace with nothing. So leave the box blank. Then click OK. And it's done. Suppose I want to replace these hyphens in order ID column with a tab. For that, select the column, then go to replace values, then replace values, value to find hyphen, and replace with, go to this advanced option, then replace using special character. I want to replace with tab. Here you will get one more option, that is match entire cell content. Here I am not going to match the entire cell. So I am not selecting this option. Then click OK, and here it's done. Suppose I want to replace this west region with east. For that, select any cell containing this west value, then go to transform, then replace values, then replace values. Here in value to find, you can see west is already there. We don't have to type it. Then replace with east. Then click OK. And it's done for the entire column. Similarly, we can select multiple columns and replace existing values with a new value. Suppose in quantity column, some of the values are unknown and it's specified as unknown, NA has, or other text that we don't know. And it's a large data set. And we want to replace all this text with 0. Finding all these texts and replacing one by one will be a tedious job. Let's see how to do it in Power Query in few clicks. Here in quantity column, we can see all the text are showing us error. As quantity is a number data type column, any value other than number data type will display as error by Power Query. Now let's replace these errors with 0. For that, go to Transform tab, then replace values, then replace errors. A dialog box will appear. Replace errors. Enter the value which will replace errors in the selected column. We want to replace the errors with 0. Then click OK, and it's done. Now let's discuss about this fill option. Suppose we have a data set which looks like this. We have order date and all these blank cells. Then we have product category, then furniture, then all these blank cells, then office supply and these blank cells, and technology and all these blank cells. And we want to fill all these blank cells with this order date, then these 3 blank cells with furniture, then all these with office supply, and all this with technology. We can do it by copying this cell and paste it over here like this, or just select this cell and double click over here. What if there is thousands of product category? Filling up the blank cells like this will be a tedious job. Let's see how to fill up these blank cells in Power Query in few clicks. Just select the columns that we want to fill up the blank cells. Then go to Transform tab, then any column, then this Fill option. Here we'll get 2 options, Fill down and Fill up. Fill down, fill blank cells with the value above, whereas Fill up, fill blank cells with the value down. Here we want to fill the blank cells down with the value above. So let's select the fill down option and it's done. Similarly, we can use fill up option to fill up the blank cells above with the down value. Let's remove this step from applied steps. Then select this column, then go to fill, then fill up. And here it's done. Now let's discuss about this pivot column option. Pivot column is used to change the orientation of a table. Suppose we have a data which represents month-wise sales for 4 different regions, Central, East, West and South, and total sales for that month. And the data looks like this. We have columns like month, region and sales. For the month of January, we have 5 different entries. For the month of January, the central region has done this much of sales, east region has done this much of sales, then south, then west, and the total sales for the month of January is this. Similarly, we have data for February, March, April, May, and June. And we want to convert this table like this so that it will be easier to read and understand. Single entry for all these 6 months, then 5 different columns for central, east, south, west region and total sales. And these are the sales values. Let's see how to do it in few clicks using pivot column option in Power Query. And this is our data. First, we have to select the column that we want to segregate to different columns. Here, we want to divide this region column. So let's select this column, then go to pivot column. A dialog box will appear, pivot column. Use the names in column region to create new columns. Values column. Here we have to select the column name that we want to represent in the new segregated column. Here we want the sales value. Then go to this advanced option. Here we will get aggregate functions like sum, count, mean, max, etc. We can select the functions based on our requirement. Here I don't want to aggregate, so let's select don't aggregate. Then click OK. And it's done. Let's discuss about this Unpivot Columns option in Power Query. This is also used to change the orientation of a table. Suppose we have a table like this and we want to change the orientation of the table like this. We can do it easily using Unpivot Columns option in Power Query. Let's do that. Let's go to Power Query Editor. This is our data. First, we have to select the columns that we want to aggregate or make one column. Let's select all these columns, central, east, south, west and total. Then go to this Unpivot Columns option in Transform tab. Here we will get 3 options: Unpivot Columns, unpivot other columns, unpivot only selected columns. Here we want to unpivot selected columns. So select this unpivot only selected column option and here it's done. Now let's discuss about this move option. This feature in Power Query helps us to move columns to different positions. Here we get 4 options: left, right, to beginning, to end. Suppose we want to move this month column to the end. For that we have to select that column, then select this move option, then to end, and it's done. And now I want to move this month column to left of this value column. For that select the column, then go to this move option, then left, and it's done. Similarly, we can move multiple columns. Let's move the month and value column. For that select both the column, then move, then to beginning, and it's done. Now let's discuss about this convert to list option. This feature in Power Query is used to convert a column to a list. Suppose I want to convert this month column to a list. For that we have to select the column first that we want to convert as list. Then select this convert to list option from transform tab, and it's done. That's all for this video. Thank you.